I think that on some level, many games, possibly most games, maybe any game you could think of, but like o- games are often essentially a puzzle box or a knot that has been tied that it's your job to untie, right? And that can be just a process of exploring the entirety of the thing, because like when, for instance, you start playing Skyrim, the designer has given you a giant map that's covered in fog of war. And so one version of untying that knot is just, I want to go everywhere. And once I have explored everything and found everything, I have taken this thing from an unsolved problem to a solved problem. I have organized this chaos into a form where everything's mapped and I understand everything. And in Gone Home, it's a similar thing where it's like you start with a house, you don't know what the layout of the house is, you don't know what the story is of the people who lived here, and there aren't puzzles in the sense of like sliding block puzzles or something. But in Gone Home, the entirety of the story is a puzzle. And I think that, games at their core most often are about imposing order from chaos, right? And that can be in an FPS encounter. You come into this room and there are all these enemies that are running all over the place, shooting everything, and you kill all of them, and now you have like resolved this conflict. Or it can be something like, I come into this house and they're just bits and pieces of this story that I don't know what they mean, and by the time I finish the game, I understand how the space of the house works and what's connected to what, but also I've reconstructed the story of who these people are and what happened to them from these disorganized puzzle pieces that I encountered when I started playing the game. And so, it's like, if you want to look at, exploring the entirety of a generated world in Proteus as, this feeling of problem solving or completion, or, taking this unknown territory and mapping it, I think it all kind of fits into, again, that broad definition of, as humans, we encounter entropy and we want to organize it. I think a lot of games in all sorts of different forms give you access to that feeling of being able to have control over that kind of situation. I mean, it's why Katamari Damacy was so great. There's literally junk everywhere, and you like gather it all up, but you're cleaning up this world. And even if there was no time limit or goals or anything in Katamari, it would be a satisfying experience just to say, I have taken this world that was once chaos and rolled it all up into a ball and expressed my control over it. And I think that's true of a lot of different games.